I have added a new link down the description to help out the LGBTQ plus community, specifically in the United States, because of everything that is horrible and terrifying happening within the community, specifically to trans people, but to all of us. And if it is a link that you guys check out that you're like, no, I know one better, please let me know down in the comments or in any of my social medias. I want to bring any attention and any resources and any ways that we can help out the rest of the community in any way, shape, or form. I have a platform, I want to use it. So please let me know. Please check out that link. Please send love to your trans friends. Okay, a couple things before we start this video. Yes, this video is almost a year late, but it's not a full year late. It's like 6 or 7 months, okay? I don't like my makeup today. I'm not happy with it. I did it and I'm not 100% happy with it, so that makes me grumpy. And it's the wrong makeup. I did like this full face, wasn't happy with it, and then remembered that I wanted to do a very specific look, a very specific outfit for this video, because it was gonna be like kind of a joke about how it was gonna be like super hyper femme versus like what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I like kind of wanted to do the same. I'm cranky about it. Hello Friendzies, welcome back to my channel. All right, so today we are back with episode 2 after almost a year, not a full year, almost a year of, oh my god, am I on your kin list? Shout out to Tubbo_ for that absolute banger of an audio that like took over my TikTok feed a year ago and just like inspired these videos. We are back to it. Last episode, I will put the card up, obviously. Last episode we did the girls. We talked about how I very much kin and very much relate to and feel like I am Amy Pond from Doctor Who, Mel from Descendants, Usagi from Sailor Moon, and Shizuku Tsukishima from Whisper of the Heart. Today we are going to be talking about how I relate to and feel like I am the characters of Charlie Spring from Heartstopper, Tamaki So, is that how you say his last name, from Ouran High School Host Club, and Diego Hargreaves from the Umbrella Academy. Quick little note, for Ouran High School Host Club and Umbrella Academy, I have only seen the shows, I have not read the comics and the manga. Okay? Before anybody gets into it, because I know the characterization is slightly different from visual media to like traditional media. I know they're a little bit different. They usually are. I haven't read the manga, and I know that the version manga of Tamaki is like a little bit better than the animated version because of the 2000s homophobia. But we're gonna get into this. I know it's one less than the girlies, but I have found... oh, you know what? No, I could include one person. I could include... You know what? We'll include somebody else. We'll say Sky from Love in the Air. And we'll go quickly with him, because, yep, okay. Anyway, let's get into it. So I want to start with Charlie Spring from Heartstopper. If you don't know what Heartstopper is at this point, I love you so much, but you're probably living under a rock. Heartstopper is a graphic novel series by author Alice Oseman, who is like my favorite person alive, specifically because of Heartstopper. They have a Netflix show that came out last year. I made like a whole video about Heartstopper. And I said in that video, I think, and I've discussed it with my friends, that surface level, you would think I'm Nick Nelson. Oh, and if you don't know about Heartstopper, it's kind of like a slice of life, like day-to-day story about queer teenagers who like are discovering their identity and like becoming comfortable with themselves and dealing with like a little bit of bullying here and there, but for the most part it's a very like sweet feel-good story. It's like exactly what queer people deserve, is like a good story where like nobody dies, the bullying is very minimal, because it's like realistic, but like also we deserve to be happy. So surface level, I'm much more like Nick Nelson. Like, if you just look at the facts on the surface, like golden retriever energy, extrovert energy, even though I consider, I don't know, I might be that like omnivert thing, I don't know. Bisexual. But it feels like, surface level, I very much am Nick Nelson, but realistically, I feel more like Charlie. I feel like I connect with Charlie Spring a lot more. He struggles with mental health, obviously, most people do. He struggles with mental health, but he is out when the graphic novel and the show start. He is out. People know that he's gay. When I was in middle school, I was one of like the only kids in my friend group and like in the school that was out when I came out. There were a couple other kids, but like when I realized I was bisexual and came out as bisexual, I was like one of the only people that like would say it and were like out about it, because I felt very brave. And he's out and he's like, he struggles with mental health. He's a good student, which I don't, Not me. He plays the drums, which I always said if I learned an instrument, I would want to learn how to play the drums, and he's just, like, a very sweet boy. There's a lot of other elements to it, too, that, like, we don't fully, like, relate to each other, but it's, if you've read the series or, like, watched the show, I just very much relate to Charlie. And also, fun fact, Charlie and I have both, well, almost, I'm gonna say almost, Charlie Spring has not eaten and passed out in Paris. Spoiler, I guess, if you haven't read the graphic novels. But I almost passed out in Paris, and I didn't eat when I was in Paris because, for different reasons, he was struggling with his anxiety very, very much, and other, you know, mental illnesses that he deals with, and I was struggling with my anxiety horrifically when I was in Paris, and I refused to eat because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was worried about money, and I didn't eat. I didn't eat for the entire 10 days, basically. I had, like, little, like, I had a bag of, like, Almond Joy M&Ms, essentially, that I would, like, munch on here and there, and I drank, like, not enough water, and then when we got back from the France trip, the first thing my, like, mom did when she picked me up was take me to Dairy Queen, because I wanted Dairy Queen really bad. And I ate all of it, and that had been the biggest meal I had eaten in, like, 10 to 12 days, and I immediately threw up after eating it. So, and I almost passed out, and Charlie specifically passes out in the Louvre. I didn't say that right. He passes out in the Louvre, and I almost passed out in the Louvre, and I'm pretty sure it's the same fucking room because the artwork Alice Oseman does in the graphic novel, I'm pretty sure it was in the same fucking room that we both almost passed, or that I almost passed out and he did pass out in. So, like, Charlie Spring and I we're the same. Kenny. Let me say, I'll do a quick one again for Sky Love in the Air, because I watched Love in the Air, right? And again, surface level, you would probably relate me more to Rain from watching my videos and everything. Like, you'd probably be like, no, you're definitely Rain. No, I'm Sky. I'm Sky, sweetie. The trauma is not the same, okay? I'm gonna put that out there, so if you're, like, worried about me when I say that. It's not the same trauma, but it's trauma. And, like, Sky's trauma is, like, up here in category A, and my trauma is, like, right here in category B. So, like, okay? The levels are similar, the trauma itself is not. It's the trauma, it's, like, the hyper-independence, even though very much wanting to be, like, loved and cared for by, like, very specific people. It's like the absolute fucking sass and attitude as, like, a defense mechanism, but also just, like, part of your personality. It's the, like, fuck men. I'm so sworn off men, but, like, also loving them at the same time. Oh god, I love it. And it's being the, like, absolutely, like, cutie, kind of, like, oblivious when somebody shows you that type of effect. I have no fucking clue, and I don't even, like, I'm so oblivious to my own feelings, which is funny, because when I've watched shows and movies with people being oblivious to their own feelings and not realizing this, that, and the other about, like, a relationship, and I'm always like, that's so silly, how do you not notice that? Like, fanfics, I'm like, how do you not understand that that's what's happening? I've done the exact same thing. Sky and I are the same. Oh, I need my phone for Tamaki, hold on. I saved, like, a graphic about Tamaki because, like, talking about Ouran High School Host Club with one of my friends and being like, oh, this is my favorite host, and then, like, this is a host that I guess I relate to, which I don't know how we got into, like, hosts that we relate to, but we did, and it was, my favorite host is Mori. Let's be honest here. Like, everything you know about me, that's my favorite host, but Tamaki is the one that I relate to the most because he is surface level, blonde, lovable idiot who, like, really enforces the family dynamic because I love my friends so much. I'm not really somebody that cares about blood family because I have not had very many good interactions with blood family, especially extended blood. So I am somebody that, like, very much your family is, like, your chosen people. And that's, you know, those are my friends and everything, and he pushes the family dynamic in the host club because he loves people so much. So I have this graphic that I found off of Instagram that I'm gonna put up here for you guys to see. But it's like the analyzation kind of like Tamaki's character, specifically from the show, not the manga. He's annoying and looks like gay and looks a little gay, but whatever makes you guys happy, I guess, which, like, I'm annoying and I look gay. Daddy, what's going on? Okay, wait, he's actually a little cute, Tamaki, my beloved. People tend to think that about me eventually. And then it's this long thing. He's an illegitimate child who was raised by his sick mother in France. He had a lonely childhood, and at 14 he was forced to go to Japan when his mother reluctantly traded him for money to get treatment. He was taught to cherish family. He became obsessed with the idea of creating a perfect one. In reality, though, his mother left him and vanished. His father rarely stood up for him, and his grandmother didn't even treat him like a human being, so he coped by projecting his ideal family onto the host club to ignore the reality of his own family situation and avoid the fear of not being loved and being a nuisance to the people he cares about. Despite it all, he never blames his family members for how they treat him and love them unconditionally, despite how they make him feel. He is so genuinely kind and forgiving. He simply wants everyone to be happy. However, his advice never applies to himself because he represses every negative emotion he has and is unable to reflect on himself and his own self-destructive tendencies. He puts so much pressure on himself to make other people feel loved, and not because he likes to, but also in hope that it'll fit the gaping hole in his heart. You never know when he genuinely is being obnoxious or just doing it to keep a sense of normalcy in the host club. So the way he doesn't have to confront his true feelings or the fact that he created an illusion of a family to keep himself from falling apart. He doesn't know how else to handle his trauma because he never had friends before and he doesn't want to lose them. And then it says at the bottom, blonde twink lol. I'm not gonna say anything else. Again, it's not like 100% the same, and that's the one difference I think between me and Tamaki is like he's so like overly kind and generous and like loving and wants to kind of like help everybody all the time, and I am a bitter bitch that like if you dug your own hole, too fucking bad, I'm not throwing a rope down. So that's like kind of the difference. But specifically the like grandparent who can't fucking stand you and treats you like ass, repressing your emotions so that everybody else can be happy, not dealing with it, and like being obnoxious and being over the top because you don't like between like trying to be normal and trying to like not talk about your own feelings. Being a lonely child with no friends until like a certain point, and then you like feel like you have to do anything you can to like keep the friends that you currently have. Okay, we're moving on to Diego Hargreaves because I'm done exposing myself. Alright, yeah. Diego Hargreaves is the last boyo. I feel like, why with the girlies did I get like so overly emotional and upset and like crying because I relate to them so hard, but with the boys, I'm like, yikes! I'm like, that's my trauma, gotta go! I am so sorry. On to Diego Hargreaves. Again, I've only seen the Umbrella Academy show. I have not read the original graphic novels. I know Gerard Way has been part of the show, if not like the main part of the show, like producing, writing it, whatever. So I know that he has characterized his characters like slightly different, but the show specifically, Diego Hargreaves, bisexual disaster, loves knives, like first and foremost. So proud of like, the thing about Diego in the show that I love the most, that I like, when my mom and I are obsessed with the show, and we've binged all of the seasons, and we're very excited for, is it gonna be the last season? I don't know. We're very excited for it. The thing about Diego that I love the most is he very much puts on that front of like, I'm a badass and I could fucking like take you one-on-one. Whenever like my friends are slightly inconvenienced, I'm like, do you need me to fight them? I'll fucking fight them. And the thing I've been saying lately, because I realize this about myself, I go, I'm not strong, but I'm scrappy. And I don't play fair, I'll play to win. Which is true about me. If anybody ever fucking challenged me to a fist fight, first of all, I don't want to fight you. Second of all, I don't know how to throw a punch. I'm not going to show up to a fist fight ready to play fair and like lose a fist fight. I'm going to come with a knife because I'm going to win. You know? So, specifically a knife. I have a really cool knife. I don't know if I could show it on camera. It's really cool. I like it a lot. Anyway. So that's the thing about Diego. He very much has that like, if we're going to have a fight, I'm going to fight to win. But also he is the softest, marshmallowiest little man, and he loves his mommy. Any episode where Diego and Grace interact, I want to bawl my eyes out. He loves his mother so much, and he turns into the softest, like, sweetest little boy when he's with his mom. Literally me and my mom. Literally me and my mom. Where he fucking... I think it's the episode in season 1 where he, like, sees Grace and he has to, like... where he, like, rips out her wiring to make sure that, like, she's, like, nobody else is gonna hurt her in a way that, like, would actually hurt her. He, like, does it kind of quick and painless, and he has to be the one because he feels like he's gonna be the one that does it, like, gently and carefully. And he has, like, a couple thoughts back to, like, when he was really little and he had, like, that stutter that he hated and his dad was really mean to him about, and his mom, like, was the one that took care of him. Mirror. I was watching the show, but there was a mirror held in front of my face because I could see it. And that's like having a shitty abusive dad, but having a mom that, like, takes care of you and loves you so much. Wow. And then all of the times that, like, again, not super with my siblings because both my siblings are a lot older than me, but the very, like, soft and gentle with his siblings, even though he, like, very much puts up a front, like, season 2. Is it season 2? Yes, it is. Season 2, where Ben is in Klaus's body and, like, Diego's kind of, like, yelling at Klaus. He's like, come on, man, like, get your shit together. Like, we gotta get out of here. But Ben's like, hey, it's me. And his, like, the way his face just fucking melts and, like, pulls, like, Ben into him. I'm like that with my, like, friends and, like, cherished loved ones. I try to be, like, not tough, but I feel like I kind of put on a specific front a lot of the time to, like, be the one that's, like upbeat. Like, I'm the one that's gonna, like, if there's a problem, like, if somebody's, like, fucking around with one of my friends, I'm the one that steps up and I'm like, hey, cut the shit because I'll beat your ass. I'm the one that, like, if everybody else is a little bit down, I'm gonna be the first one to, like, woohoo, let's go! But then, like, when there are times that we're being extra soft and cute, I'm, like, the softest one. I'm the one that will cry first, even if I'm happy, because I just love everyone. And I just a lot of, like, the, like, very strong anger issues and the very strong, like, you fucked me over once, it's gonna take a long time for me to, like, get back with you, even if you're somebody I love and care about, because that's, like, the relationship with him and Luther are kind of similar to that, because him and Luther obviously, like, didn't get along as kids. They have a lot of unresolved trauma, but as the seasons go on and he's realizing that, like, hey, I'm over here fucking trying my best and doing what I need to do, but oh shit, Luther is trying his best and doing what he needs to do. It's just not the same way I did it, and even though I don't agree with that and it pisses me off, he's still, like, somebody I love and care about. Mirror me. Alright, Friendsies, I'm gonna cut that off there. I feel like I'm trauma dumping a little bit more in this one than I did in the last episode. I don't know how quick this episode is gonna be, actually. I was gonna say quick and easy episode, but I think it's a bit longer than I originally intended. Yeah, those are my kinnies. I think this is the last episode of my oh my god, am I on your kin list? But those are the boyos. There are no, from what I know and from what I can think of off the top of my head, there are no, like, gender, like, non-conforming, like, non-binary characters in media that I have, like, watched, interacted with, that I felt very heavily related to. Because I know there's a, are they gender fluid or are they non-binary? The character in She-Ra that, like, everybody freaked out about when, like, that character was, brought on, displayed, presented. That, I don't know, something like that. I never finished She-Ra. I don't remember where I left off. I never finished it, so I never saw them. So there haven't been a lot of characters like that in media that I've consumed that I have related to. But based off of this video and the last episode of Oh My God, Am I on Your Kin List, if there are any other characters that you, like, think that I'm like, let me know. Because I think that would be a fun video too, reading, like, what characters that other people, like, think that I'm very similar to. I think that would be super interesting, because there are a couple of characters that, like, I think I'm alike, but it's not how that character is in the original media. It's the fan fiction version of that character, which is still valid, but it is still not the intended original concept of that character. So, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Yeah, embarrassing. I love embarrassing myself. Embarrassing, a little bit of trauma dumping, so if so, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye! Did I stop to breathe when I read that Tamaki, like, graphic? I don't think I did.